The woke are once again eating each other as CNN, as you can see on the screen right here, is under fire for misgendering Dylan Mulvaney unbelievably bad. During the unbelievably bad segment is what these other woke companies are saying, what these other woke publications are saying, such as Daily Beast and Yahoo. And also, CNN, not only did they misgender Dylan Mulvaney, but they were forced to apologize. And we'll go over the apology after we go over them actually misgendering Dylan Mulvaney during a Bud Light segment. So let's check out this video here of CNN misgendering Dylan Mulvaney. And in this guy's world and CNN's world and all the rest of the woke outlets out there in their world, this is like the absolute worst thing that you can do. Like, this is worse than anything that the mustache man did. This is worse than anything that has ever happened in human history. Like, this is the worst thing that you could have done. Let's check out what CNN had to say here about Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney.
We went to Nashville. We even talked to a bar in Chicago, one bar.
By the way, this segment here was supposed to be like a huge win for CNN. They went to Kid Rock's bar and tried to see if they were selling Bud Light because Kid Rock said he wouldn't sell Bud Light after the whole Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. And apparently they were selling Bud Light and they thought this was going to be like a huge journalistic win. And then they do this and nobody really cares about their journalism. They just care that they misgendered Dylan Mulvaney.
It was telling us basically they're not going to serve it because they don't like the way Dylan Mulvaney was treated after this whole controversy started. He, of course, is the transgender person they were going to...
You see, he said he was the transgender person. He said it right there, and he'll say it again later. Just listen closely.
Sponsor and go along with Bud Light. They didn't like how Bud Light didn't stand by him after all this.
Didn't stand by him. That's not very CNN of you. And we can play that one more time just for anybody who missed the misgendering here. I know viewer discretion is advised. I know that this is extreme hate speech and it may offend a lot of you, but I have a duty to my viewers to show you even the worst of the worst crimes that you could possibly commit. Misgendering a man pretending to be a woman. I have to show you. I'm really sorry.
Bar in Chicago, one bar was telling us basically they're not going to serve it because they don't like the way Dylan Mulvaney was treated after this whole controversy started. He, of course, is the transgender person they were going to sponsor and go along with Bud Light. They didn't like how Bud Light didn't stand by him after all this.
And as you can see, the Daily Beast and other woke media outlets are having meltdowns about this. CNN misgenders Dylan Mulvaney in cringe segment on Bud Light boycott. And then on Yahoo News, we have CNN apologizes for unbelievably bad segment. Let's check out what CNN had to say about misgendering Dylan Mulvaney. CNN apologized Wednesday for misgendering trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney in a segment that aired earlier this week. The network addressed the mistake live on air yesterday in a segment about trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney, who was featured in Bud Light's recent campaign. She was mistakenly referred to by the wrong pronouns. Anchor Kate Bolduan said, "It's so funny how they make sure that they have a section where they can use the pronoun in there. They're like, okay, in this statement, we must be able to say she in reference to Dylan Mulvaney somewhere in the statement to show that we are truly allies of the trans movement." It's just so funny what these woke people will do, man. CNN aims to honor individual ways of identifying themselves, and we apologize for that error. On Tuesday, the network's national correspondent Ryan Young presented the criticized segment, which involved on-street interviews with people about the Bud Light controversy in a clip that ran a little over 2 minutes. Young referred to Mulvaney as both he and him. Yeah, man. I mean, that's probably how he speaks in his private life because that's how most normal people out there would speak. That's how most normal people out there refer to men, to males, as he and him. Like, that's just how the real world works outside of your weird ass echo chamber where we're supposed to just use these people's made up pronouns. Like, that's how most normal people work. So whenever he goes home to his family, whenever Ryan Young interacts with his kids, and even probably when he's talking about Dylan Mulvaney to them and with his friends and everything, he's probably saying he and him because it is a he and a him. So it is really difficult to get on air, and when you try to be professional about it, try to refer to Dylan Mulvaney as pronouns that you just don't see him as. You know, it's very hard to totally rewire your brain after your entire life. We've been told that biology matters, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to just act like it doesn't. Here is Ari Drennan says, unbelievably bad CNN segment fails to interrogate where Bud Light boycott came from, launders perspectives of people who think their grandchildren will be harmed by the acknowledge that trans people exist. Misgenders, Dylan Mulvaney. This segment could have run on Fox News. So everybody, like CNN, like I said, it was supposed to be a huge journalistic win for them, and nobody even cares about their journalism. They're just like, oh my God, they misgendered Dylan Mulvaney, they're bigots, and all the rest of the stuff that they always call, like Ari Drennan says here, Fox News. It's the same thing. It's crazy how quick they will turn on each other, how quick CNN becomes the enemy to all these other woke outlets, all these other woke people, when Fox News has always been the enemy, and CNN and MSNBC have always been like the flagship stations of the woke, of the left. And now all of a sudden this guy misspeaks twice on the air, and CNN is public enemy number one because one guy in the company misgenders Dylan Mulvaney. Man, it's honestly so entertaining to watch these woke people work, because it must be so draining for them to just have to be maximum woke at all times. And if you mess up once, if you slip up one time, or in this guy's case twice, then you're just done. Like, he's probably going to end up getting fired, or I don't know, maybe his skin color will protect him. I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen to this guy, Ryan Young, for misgendering Dylan Mulvaney on CNN. Like I said, the worst possible crime that you could possibly commit. He just did it. So let me know what you think is going to happen to him. Should he be thrown in jail for life? I think the punishment must fit the crime, man. He has to at least serve like 50 years in jail, something like that. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments.